Hello everybody, welcome to another video. My name is Shane, aka Storm Security, and in this video we're going to be heading back over to Hack the Box. We have another machine here. This machine is called Blue. It's an easy box and it's running the Windows operating system. This is a retired machine, so I am able to document the steps to exploitation and put this out there for you guys to enjoy. Just to note, I know absolutely nothing about this machine. This machine on this occasion has not been done by myself before. So from the outset, you're going to see everything that I do to penetrate a machine. Of course, machines require different methodology. So we will have to see how this one goes. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. So, first thing we need to do with this machine here is we need to understand what services and ports are running on this machine, and then based on that information, we can tailor our attack vector to it. All right, so we have the IP address here. So the IP address is 10.129.6.44. So let's go ahead. Let's sudo nmap. Let's give it a service scan. No ping. On this occasion here, I'm going to use an NSE script, and I'm going to use the vuln script on this. And I just need to specify the IP address again, which is 10.129.6.44. Okay, and just check the syntax. So super user do nmap service scan no ping script vuln and the IP address there is specified. Okay, let's hit enter and whack in my password. So as you can see here, the nmap there is starting. I'm running version 7.93. And you get a timestamp output of when that started. So 27th of the 10th, 2022 at 17:48, which is summertime. So we just need to give this a few moments now to do its thing. In terms of this page, we don't really need that open for now. So we'll just pop that down, just to kind of sanitize the screen there. All right, so if you are running an nmap scan and it does seem to be taking some time, what you can do is just hit the enter button there. And what this will do is actually give you an output there. So as we see here, the service scan timing is around about 33.33% done. And it's saying it's going to take 1 minute and 12 seconds to complete. If we just hit that enter key again, you can see now it's now 77.78% done, and around about 17 seconds there is remaining before we see an output. So, yep, not too long. Time to take a sip of water. Okay, great. So we've got some information back from the nmap scan here. Right, ports. We've got 135 open, running Windows RPC. We've got port 139 TCP open, and that's running Windows NetBIOS. We've got port 445 TCP open, and the information coming back from there suggests that this could be a Windows 7 machine. Domain is work group on that machine. Okay, we've got some further information here, look. So what we see here is that the vulnerability scanner has detected that there is a high chance that this machine is vulnerable to a remote code execution vulnerability in the Microsoft SMB v1 servers, which is the MS17-1010. Risk factor is high. A critical remote code execution vulnerability exists in Microsoft SMB v1 servers. And then we've got some references there. We've got some references to the MITRE. We've got some TechNet stuff there, and we've got another TechNet security bulletin there as well. Okay, from experience, I know that CVE 2017.0143 is the Eternal Blue exploit. This was quite prevalent back in, I think, 2017, where the shadow brokers breached the NSA and downloaded all their tools. And of course, this is now falling into the hands of hackers that then went and deployed WannaCrypt ransomware. Okay, cool. Right, I think for now, what we're going to do is typically we'd use the MSF database and the MSF console framework on this. We're still going to use that, but I'm actually going to show you something else. I'm going to show you a tool called Armitage. Now, we've got some prerequisites to this. So what we need to do is we need to sudo service host agree SQL start. Oops. Perfect. And we need to start the MSF DB database as well. So sudo service, sudo MSF DB start. Okay, database already started. Perfect. Right, now we've got a sudo into Armitage. Armitage. Now this may take a few minutes to start up. If it does take a bit of time, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and I'll pause the video until it actually gets there. We'll see now. We'll see. So again, just to sanitize the screen, we're not going to use this terminal window anymore now. So we're just going to pop that down the bottom there. And we're just going to wait for this to connect back to the 127.0.0.1 on port 8566. So it will try a few connection attempts until it does eventually connect. Don't worry about this connection refused for now. As you can see, connected. It's connected to the database. It's fetched payloads, and it's opening up a completely clean canvas for us. Cool. All right. So what we need to do here now is we need to get the machine's IP address in here. There's a couple of ways you could do that. What you could do here is you could go to host, you could import the host from a previous Nmap scan, or in this case, what we're going to do is we're just going to add the host here. We're going to head back to hack the box, and then we're going to whack in this IP address here. So we're going to do 10.129.6.44, and we're just going to add that in there. As you can see, the host has been added and it's listed here. Now, as you can see, we've got a completely blank screen. We've got no information on this target whatsoever. You see there, if I hover my mouse over, it just says null. All right, well, let's get some information, shall we? So let's go hosts. Let's do Nmap scan, and we're going to do a quick scan OS detect. So as you can see here, we're using the built-in Nmap scanner that's actually in Armitage itself. And if we just cast our mind back to the command line Nmap scan I did with the Volna script, it did come back with, I think it was 6 or 7 ports open, 3 interesting ports, 1 specifically interesting port, and a couple of, or a few really high range ports there that at this point I'm not really too interested in. So let's see what comes back from the built-in Nmap scanner from Armitage. And just remember now that I'm simply doing a quick scan. I'm not doing anything particularly fancy on this one. All right, cool. So we see here that we've got a pop-up dialog box, scan complete, saying that we can use attacks, find attacks to suggest applicable exploits for your targets. Well, we already know at this point that this machine is indeed vulnerable to Eternal Blue. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to kind of ball this up the top a little bit here just to give us a little bit more room. Right, so we're going to type in Eternal Blue here. Whoops, can't spell today. So there we go. Okay, here is our exploit module for Eternal Blue. So if we just open that up now, this will give you another dialog box with a little bit more information. So this is the MS17010 Eternal Blue SMB or Server Message Block Remote Windows Kernel Pool Corruption Vulnerability Exploit. So this, this module here, as it states, is a port of the equation group Eternal Blue exploit, and it's also part of the Fuzzbench toolkit released by the Shadow Brokers. As I mentioned before, the Shadow Brokers did breach into the NSA and were able to steal this exploit from them. All right, cool. So where do we go from here, you ask? Right, cool. So at this point now, we've got localhost, which is my IP address in there. We've got a local port, which we're going to be using 174.0.1. The R host is already set to the IP address of this victim machine, and the R port is set to 445 because of the exploit SMB working off port 445. Targets, this gives you a little bit further information about what's particular operating systems could be potentially vulnerable to this if they haven't sufficiently patched their target correctly. We're just going to leave this here an automatic target. We're not going to use a reverse connection here, and we're not going to go ahead and show any advanced options. We're simply just going to launch this exploit at this target because we know it's vulnerable. Okay, cool. Right, let's hit the target. So as you can see here, the auxiliary scanner has come back and it's stated that the host is likely vulnerable to it, which we already know. It's running Windows 7 Professional 7601 on Service Pack 1, running x64-bit. Now, as you can see here, we've started the exploit chain now. So again, it's confirmed that the target is vulnerable. It's connecting. The connection is established for the exploitation. It does a whole bunch of clever stuff here. So it sent packets to the machine. It's not. It hadn't sent the last packet yet. So what it's doing now is it's starting the non-paged pool grooming, sending the SMBv2 buffers into there, and then it's closing the SMBv1 connection and creating a free hole adjacent to the SMBv2 buffer, which is where the vulnerability lies. So what we see here is on the first attempt here, it did fail. That's okay. If we go and have another look at the information in here, what we see here, we just kind of make that a little bit bigger for you, is that this exploit, like the original, may not trigger 100% of the time and should be run continuously until triggered. All right, so what this is going to do now is going to try 3 iterations of exploitation of this machine. If it does happen to fail out the 3rd time, what we'll do is we'll simply close this exploit here and we'll just hit it again until it does actually kind of fall over and give us a beautiful crimson red with some kind of lightning strikes around the screen there. So again, we'll just give it some time. We see now it's started on the third attempt. So at this point now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video just to kind of keep this video short and sweet. And then as soon as this exploits this machine, what we'll do is we'll just start the video again. And we'll continue on with the next steps in the penetration of this machine. Okay, guys. So as promised, this machine has now gone beautiful crimson red with some lightning strikes around it. And we see here that this has now been exploited. So what can we do with this machine now? Well, we're just waiting on this to finish. What it will do is it will give us a interpreter shell on there. So what we can do is we can run some commands against it. Right, okay, so we've got a command shell open. And we see here that it's got some basic information. So it's Microsoft Windows, gives you the copyright, and then it tells us that currently the directory that we're in is the C drive Windows System 32 drive. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go to shell, we're going to interact, and then you see here we've got command line access there. So what we need to do then is we need to navigate around this machine. So let's go cd dot dot cd dot dot again, and then as you can see we're now in the C drive. So we're going to be using the Windows command line commands here because this is a Windows machine. So we've got a dir, and as we see here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 directories. We've got perf logs, we've got program files, x86. We've got share, we've got users, and we've got Windows. Okay, so what we want to do here now is we want to grab the users.txt hash off this machine. So I think from here what we're going to do is we're going to cd into users. We've got a dir, and we see we've got administrator, Harris, and public. So let's go for the low hanging fruit right now, and let's just have a look at Harris and see what information we can get out of there. So we've got a cd into Harris, we got a dir, and we see contacts, desktop, documents, downloads, favorites, links, music, pictures, saved games, searches, and videos. Typically, the flag is going to be on the desktop. So we got a cd into Harris's desktop. We've got a dir, which will show the directory of what's on the desktop. And we see there is user.txt. Cool. All right then. So typically, the right command would be to get user.txt, but in this case, because it's a Windows machine that are actually on in the C drive, to be able to view the output of what's in that file, we're going to have to use what's known as the type command. So we're going to type in type, and then we're going to specify the file that we want to look in. And as we can see here, we've got a hash. That's brilliant. Right, let's copy this. And let's go to Hack the Box and submit a flag. Okay, I'm going to machine difficulty. I'm going to put it as a 3 because the exploit didn't really work the first time. I would say it was easy. And submit flag. Cool. Right, the flag's been accepted. So what we see here is we've got a user own. We've owned the user, right? Okay, well that's great. But what we want to do as a malicious attacker is actually get system, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to go after the root.txt flag. Right, so let's go back to Armitage. This one. Right, we're going to CD back. We got a CD back again. We got a dir the users directory, and I do believe administrator was there. Okay, great. So we got a CD administrator. If I can spell correctly. Cool. Okay, we're in the directory. Right. Let's dir it. Based on experience, let's go for the desktop again. So CD desktop. dir. Okay, we've got the root.txt there. Perfect. All right. So right now we've got administrator privileges on this machine. So let's go ahead and type the output of root.txt and grab the flag. Boom. Okay, there's the flag. Again, let's copy that back over to Hatbox, submit a flag, paste it in. I'm going to go 3. I found it easy. And we've got to submit the flag. Flag accepted. Okay, and we've got a system own as well. There we go. Blue has been pawned. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you penetrate this machine using an exploit called Eternal Blue. So, lessons for system administrators. Please make sure that you're patching your machines often and in a timely fashion. As you can see there, it didn't take me long to penetrate this machine and to effectively get system over it. I could at this point now do some really nasty stuff. Armitage there would be the predecessor to Cobalt Strike. So if this had been Cobalt Strike, you would have also the added issue of post-exploitation stuff that can be used here. So if we go to shell 1, use the post modules, we've got a whole bunch of stuff here that can be used against you. Shelter interpreter, we can get a local exploit suggested running on the machine. So if you've got any critical applications on that machine that also aren't patched, then what could happen is that the local exploit suggestor could actually pick that up, put an output to the hacker screen saying that one of your applications itself is vulnerable, and then you could get further exploited that way through the application as well. Hi guys, listen, I hope you found this video enjoyable and informative. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that to see you in another video soon. All right guys, enjoy. Thanks a million. Please like and comment if you like this video. Catch you later.